look at trust like a bridge over this gigantic canyon. Trust being a bridge, it is one of those swinging bridges made with rope and wooden planks. And with each step, you are testing out the rope. You're testing out whether or not the wooden plank can handle your weight. It can start out firm, flimsy. It can be whatever. It can be made out of the rope and wooden plank, or it can be made out of steel, made out of whatever you begin into relationships with people. When it comes to this bridge, with each encounter, with each level of tested trust, if you would, where you allow them to look at who you are, to be involved in your life. The more they support you, the more you're allowing them into. When it works out, when you're pleased with the outcome, you allow them more space and into your personal life more and more.
Virtuous woman, wifey tight, does you good and not evil all the days of her life. Working with her hands, she up all night. I don't know what she doing, but she doing something right. The Proverbs 31 woman, she's wise, she's worth more than rubies. That Proverbs 31 woman, the one who fears the Lord. A woman 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 who fears the Lord. Her price is far above rubies. You can't find her in the jewelry. I can't find no one to compare to you. To be honest, I never knew that God made a woman like you. A woman who fears the Lord. 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 Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Scent of a Woman podcast. I am your host, Angelica Montgomery. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Make sure that you get notified whenever there is another podcast. We don't want you to miss any content. The topic we are talking about, I believe, is necessary and needful for women in this particular day and age, and probably everyone since. I believe that the topic is extremely important for all women, regardless of where you come from, your age, your background, history, or even where you believe you're going in the future. Accountability and mentorship. Don't hang up. Don't log off. Don't close the app. We're going to deal with this. We're going to have a really calm, collected conversation. I'm going to begin this conversation with a little bit of why I believe mentorship and accountability is important. I am a leader and I have been for quite some time. When I mean quite some time, I mean years. If you want to be extremely technical, maybe at the very minimum between 18 to 20 years. If you want to think about the times that I wasn't at a church or that I wasn't doing anything, like pregnant and on bed rest, I would say 18 to 20 years. However, when I look at non-technical occasions where I didn't necessarily hold a position, I didn't have a title, or I wasn't on somebody's leadership role, if you would say my whole life, I have been in a mentorship position. I want to say 5 years ago, I was in prayer and just having a conversation with God about like, why me? Why do you want me to be a spiritual mother to other people? Because it wasn't just women, it's women and men. How am I supposed to navigate this? How am I qualified to do this? And it was brought back to my attention that I had been doing this since I could remember. And let me tell you what I was doing exactly. So I shared with you a few weeks back about me being baptized at the age of 6, receiving the Holy Spirit at the age of 7, in between going to and attending 2 different churches. And during that time of my life, I was I don't even know how to describe it. My personality was very mature for me. I didn't have a lot of friends, but I had a good amount. And the way that I would converse with other kids around my age, it was always centered around God. It was centered around church. It was about beliefs. And we spoke a lot about standards. We spoke a lot about restrictions. We spoke a lot about, what was good, what was right, and what was wrong. So I had that sort of disposition, even young. I can remember being at the first home church that I can get a memory from, and I would anticipate listening to the preacher. So that just kind of tells you what kind of child I was. Now, don't get me wrong, very active. I was definitely a tomboy, and I enjoyed candy, and sometimes I would be very sneaky. I did things as a child too. It's not to say that I was very rigid, but I was still a child. I still had my problems. I still had my faults. I still got in trouble. There were some times where I got bad grades. There were some times where I got spankings and I got reprimanded for doing things because I was a kid. And I was not only that, but I was number 7 out of 9 kids. So that was a lot of influence. And so I just could remember being where I'm going to take God seriously, and I'm going to look at everything around me and see what I can get into, at the same time keeping the understanding that I wanted to be saved. That was very important to me. I wanted to be saved. And not only that, I wanted others around me to be saved. Hey, do you have the Holy Ghost? That was the question. Are you saved? I asked a lot of people, are they saved? Do they believe in Jesus? I did a lot of witnessing as a child. That would probably shock you. Like, that's how I built my friendships, was around who was saved. I remember being at the new church that we went to when we kind of shifted over, and there was a lot of kids my age that did not have the Holy Ghost yet. They did not even think about being saved. They were just there going to Sunday school and doing whatever. I remember when my family came in, we changed a lot of that. There was a lot more spark, if you would. There was a lot more of their children who got the Holy Ghost and started coming into church with a real understanding of what was happening and what was going on. And I remember going into the bathroom with some of the other girls. We're just playing around. We're doing what kids do, but not me, not entirely. We are in the bathroom coming up with a club. And I remember talking about dues and talking about gathering, all this information, but my focus was on influence and community and coming together. I remember that even at the age of 7. But what I want to deal with is the accountability and mentorship portion of this, and how I was very focused on influence and how I could influence those that I considered my friends and how they were influencing me. Fast forward, starting to preach, coming into this whole new arena of young preachers, young people, going to different churches, visiting various organizations, and coming in contact with a lot of youth, that I began to have an even larger friend circle, if you would. But I really didn't consider everyone, like I said, my friend, because based upon the maturity spiritually, someone that I could talk to and lean on, even at the age of 17, 18, I always focused on maturity in who was pouring into me or who I was listening to. That made a lot of sense to me. That you couldn't just talk to me and give me advice, and we couldn't just be on the phone talking about stuff. I needed to make sure that there was a level of maturity to what you were telling me. And I believe that God graced me very young with the spirit of wisdom. It still rests on me today. But even back then, I was very wise for my age. And what I'm talking about is even when it came to dating and relationships, I did not rely on information from friends at all. They could not influence me into talking with another boy. They could not influence who I dated. They could not influence the longevity. If anything, I had one friend. There was one instance where I was like 13, 14 at the time. I made the mistake of having a friend talk to a guy for me. And that was like the first and last time I did that. I never did that again. Other people would try to talk to boys for me. And I'm just like, if I don't talk to them, then they're not worth it. They're not worth my attention. That sounds kind of harsh, but they weren't worth what I was wanting, if you would. But anyways, so I made that mistake one time with a friend, and it really put things in perspective for me when it comes to those that would say that they're for me, but they're really for themselves. It's not to say that they're against me, but they're just more for themselves. And the mentorship and accountability, when you're sharing your life, sharing what you're going through with other people, you are being accountable to them. And I recognize in that moment of having that friend go and be sort of a intercessor for me, if you would, in that moment, she violated my trust and we were not the better for it. We didn't fully recover. We were 13, 14. We didn't fully recover. And there was some things about her personality that was unlocked for me. And we didn't have any issues moving forward. Only the fact that I did give that boy a chance after she dated him. Maybe I should make that clear, because she did date him as she was talking to him on my behalf. So she figured that I wouldn't mind that they date, even though she was talking to him on my behalf, and found out that he liked her too. So I don't understand how it went, but I ended up dating him some years later after they broke up. Yeah. There was a lot of friend codes that were being thrown out the window on that relationship. However, once again, I did do some inner thoughts on that. To this day, I feel vindicated in that moment. Even some years ago, that would have been for me a regret if I would have been true to the friendship that had already broken down versus seeing where things went with someone that I was really interested in. So I'm not saying, hey, go and mess with other people and all that. But, I was a young teenager, and we do things that we regret. And then there are some things that we feel like this gave me self-esteem. And I really believe that was a moment that I gathered some of my self-esteem. Not only was it an interracial circumstance when it comes to dating, but it was also a matter of, do I feel worthy enough for these people that I'm around 24/7? And so with that being said, I did not, even in that moment, I did not allow other people to influence me in that decision. And it was 100% up to me. And although I would have liked to speak with other people about, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do about this? Or what do you say? How will this look? I ended up dating him for 6 months. And ultimately, I took a lot of what I was doing back then to prayer, to just making sure that it didn't feel immoral and wrong. So yeah, I did a lot of things when I was a teenager that I'm actually proud of. There's some things that I'm not proud of, but as a teenager, navigating accountability and mentorship, it was tough for me in the space because I looked for that spiritual maturity component to any information that was given to me. What I'm getting to is, as women and being older, I'm realizing that a lot of people are more open and vulnerable with others whom they vetted not to be spiritually mature. I have so many, I can't even count how many spiritual daughters I have right now. I probably could if I wrote down a list, maybe, because there's some that are affiliated with the organization that me and my husband are over together. And there are some that are not affiliated who come to the church. And there are some who I have sort of graduated, if you would, into other positions but they're still spiritual children. They can still call me, they can still connect and things of that nature. When I'm dealing with those, I still find it difficult sometimes to get to the real. And here's the thing about accountability. Accountability always requires a level of vulnerability. If you're not vulnerable, if you don't allow your guard to come down when you are pursuing accountability, and I'll say it that way because it's a relationship, whichever way you go, you have to allow trust to build, to form. And that's the thing about trust. I look at trust like a bridge over this gigantic canyon. And trust being a bridge, it is one of those swinging bridges made with rope and wooden planks. And with each step, you are testing out the rope. You're testing out whether or not the wooden plank can handle your weight. And so while your hands are firmly planted on this rope and you've already tested the rope, you know that the rope is there. The bridge, it can start out strong, it can start out firm, or it can start out flimsy. It can be whatever. It can be made out of the rope and the wooden plank, or it can be made out of steel. It can be made out of whatever you begin to, enter into relationships with people. And most often when it comes to this bridge, with each encounter, with each level of tested trust, if you would, where you allow this person a sort of inner look at who you are, you allow them to look at who you are, to be involved in your life. And the more and more that they support you, the more that whatever you're allowing them into, when it works out, when you're pleased with the outcome, you allow them more space and you allow them more into your personal life more and more. And so the level of trust that many of my spiritual children have, it has come with encounters, it's come with conversations, it's come with life milestones, it's come with life celebrations, life moments, whatever has happened. With each life event, there is a level of trust that is either built, tested, or even destroyed, or even damaged. It doesn't have to be completely destroyed. Sometimes it can get damaged. You can have a crack. It can break in half, and it needs to be repaired when that trust is broken. And mentorship is a huge part of spiritual parenting because we are not the ultimate parent. We have God, our Father, who is our mother, our father, our brother, our sister. He is everything to us. And there is still an element of submitting ourselves one to another where we are accountable not only for our actions, but for our lifestyle, for our ideas, for our thoughts, for our choices, for whichever, whatever's happening with us, we are responsible for that. And when come into relationship with people looking for accountability and mentorship guidance through life and through life events, life circumstances, whatever it may be, we have to remember that we can build trust and we can test trust in those events, and we can even build better. We can build the bridge better and renovate the bridge. We can reconstruct it. We can tear it down. We can build it back up. But it takes work and it takes relationship for all of those things. With mentorship being a huge part of spiritual parenting, one of the things I believe that people don't understand is that there is an element of guidance that is so prevalent. It's so prevalent. I remember being only about 20 years old, and I'm, once again coming to God with one of the conversations about, why me? Why do I have the spiritual parent? I was really questioning the age difference. And a lot of my spiritual children are older than me. Some of them have been with me for a decade, 10 years, 11 years, really working on a really, really long time. And, 5 years, 3 years. But like I said, many of them are older than me. And it was a thought God, why me? What is happening? And he really had to, once again, bring that back to my memory that a lot of the things that even these older spiritual children were going through, I had already gone through it. I had already dealt with it. I had already crossed over Jordan when it comes to whatever that life circumstance, whatever that life situation was. And I had a testimony. I could guide them through that moment. And when I look at a lot of my spiritual children and how that was really a testimony of assignment taken for me. It was an assignment. I was like, okay, I know I can do this. Because like I said, being 20 years old and having these adults, right, these grown people who were well into their 50s, they were dealing with older children who were moving out of the house, who were, doing various things. And I had to realize my kids may be young, but I've dealt with having older kids, if you would, move out of the house, living with me and moving out of the house because of me being the seventh child out of 9. My older siblings had kids when I was like a teenager. And so when I first got married, and even when I was younger, before I got married, like 17, 18, I either lived with my parents, I lived with a sibling. I know we shared a house with a couple of my siblings. We shared a house at one point before I was married. And so I had experienced a lot of what the situation that people were going through that were connected to me in my 20s. And it was so shocking because I was like, okay, this is what you do. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is the underlying spiritual component to the situation and what you should look at, what should be realized. And it's definitely something that I will never forget, just realizing that, hey, I'm cut out for this. And what I'm getting to is the mentorship part is it's very prevalent. You have to have it. You have to have it. I can't say that enough. You have to have it. Your opinion doesn't matter if you haven't gone through what somebody else is going through, unless you have been given wisdom. We always want to think about Solomon. King Solomon was given wisdom. He asked for wisdom. That is essentially what I did when I was younger, and I still do to this day. God, give me wisdom concerning this situation. And the issue with mentorship today is a lot of us gain knowledge, gain opinions from people that are our peers, that are not spiritually mature. And in many instances, they're not even more mature than us. We look at people who we would pour into and look for, what do you think I should do next? What do you think what do you think the next step is? And so it leads me to this. I have spiritual parents. I have multiple spiritual parents, people that mentor. I have multiple spiritual mentors, spiritual people who are more mature, who have gone through things in different areas of life, through different challenges, and you must be poured into. You must be poured into. And if you think about it, when I'm talking about being spiritually mature, I'm thinking about when you're pouring into someone else, you pour down into the person. This isn't one of those science experiments. Many of us, we do some of those science experiments where we got the straw coming out of one and going into the other, and it's like transferring. And it's like, that's the only way you can actually pour into somebody else is you got to have a straw. You got to, it's this whole science experiment. But I think about pouring down into someone. So you have to be mature. That accountability comes when you are in a place where you can be accountable to someone and receive opinion that is, from God. When you receive opinion that's not from God, you will readily recognize it. If you are looking for a life coach, someone to mentor you or encourage you on this life's journey, go ahead and check out centofawomanpodcast.com or go to angelicamontgomery.com where you can connect with me to get started today. Thank you so much for checking out part 1. This has been an enjoyable conversation. To check out the next part of this conversation, do enjoy the rest of your day, whether it's morning, noon, or night. I enjoy talking with you, and I will see you next time.
I can't find no one to compare to you. To be honest, I never knew that God